Hello, everyone. I'm Greg Giglio, and we are started off with our very first weekly video message of the 23-24 school year. And I'm happy to see we have several new staff members, and I'm going to be bringing them on throughout the year. Our first one is Mari Alanis, who is one of our new skill counselors. So, Mari, can you introduce yourself to the folks?
Sure. So, hello, my name is Mari Alanis. I am starting my 8th year as a school counselor. I'm very excited to be here at Homestead. I've had the pleasure to meet some students, staff, parents, and I can really tell this is a very supportive and welcoming environment to be at. So I look forward in collaborating with you and your student to a successful academic year. I'm in my office on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 2:15, and on Wednesdays from 7:30 to 1:30. I'm available for students during brunch, lunch, tutorial, and by appointment. So if you as a parent need to get a hold of me, go ahead and send me an email. There's also a link on the Homestead website where you can contact all the school counselors and set up appointments with them. And I will be working with last names VE to C. That's V as a velocity and C as a zebra. In my outside of work, I spend time with my family, mostly doing things that are age appropriate for a 1-year-old, 4-year-old. And my hobby, or my new hobby, is reading books about self-growth.
All right, excellent. You also happen to be a bilingual Spanish speaker, so can you say hello to our Spanish speaking family?
Yes. So, para mis familias que hablan español, mi nombre es Mari Alanis, soy la nueva consejera aquí de Homestead. Estoy en mi oficina los lunes, martes y jueves de 10 de la mañana a las 2:15 y los miércoles de 7:30 a 1:30 de la tarde. Estoy trabajando con los estudiantes con las letras V como velocidad y C de cebra. Así que cualquier pregunta pueden mandarme un correo electrónico o también contactarme en la página de Homestead, donde tenemos una forma que pueden llenar y hacer una cita conmigo. Los estudiantes me pueden contactar o hablar conmigo durante el lonche, el recreo o también por cita. Entonces estoy aquí disponible. Cualquier cosa estoy a su disponibilidad. Y en mi tiempo libre, pues tengo un niño de 1 y 4 años, así que hago actividades que sean apropiadas para su edad. Y también me gusta leer muchos libros acerca de mejorar como persona.
Excellent. So we're really excited to have you as part of our Mustang family now. And so you're the fifth counselor we have on our staff. And so again, first time we've had a Spanish speaking counselor. So that's going to be super helpful. So really appreciate that. Again, if people need to contact you, they can do the website or they can email you at our email addresses. And you guys are already cranking off at the beginning of the year, lots of busy stuff. So I'm going to let you go. And so you can get back to meeting with kids. But I hope if you're on campus, you get a chance to stop in and say hi to you, and you get to see our families because they are a great resource. So I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to go on with the rest of my announcements. So thanks for being the guest star this week.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. So I'm going to share my screen here. Here we go. Give me a second. There it is. I'm trying some new PowerPoint fonts here, so hopefully you like this one. This is my Ocean one. But first, a couple of announcements. So this is the weekly video message for today being Friday, August 25th. And then for those of you who are brand new to these, or what are these and why are we doing these? This is something that we actually started doing during the pandemic, and it actually has been so successful. I enjoy doing them. People, I guess, enjoy watching them because I get lots of positive feedback. So we've kept them going as a way for us to keep up communication. But my content in this video is generated from a parent-student survey, and that survey is linked into our weekly email blast that Ms. Crane sends out to you. It's also on the webpage at my principal's message. Go ahead and over there and you can click on that. But we look for your questions, comments, suggestions, shout outs, any of that kind of stuff that I can then go and answer and put on to the video and help others who may have the same question. So it's been really good for getting questions answered like that. You can on the survey ask for either a public response, and this is what we mean by a public response. I would read your question or your concern or your suggestion and talk a little bit about it. or you can ask for a private response. And if you do want just a private response, because maybe it's something more specific to your student or a question that you maybe don't want to get out to the general public, but please, if you do a private, give me a name or a number so I can get back in touch with you. Otherwise, if you just say, I have this concern and it's private, well, I can't get back to you. Excuse me, I'm talking too fast there. And so again, please give me your contact. This, again, we do try to solve problems and issues and go over and give out information. But if you have a very specific grievance against a teacher or something that's going on very specifically with your kid, this may not be the proper place to do it. But please, you can still send it to me, but just know that, again, I would like to have a contact with you so I can actually sit down and discuss or call you and try and do that. But this is a place for you to get information, maybe to be a little bit entertained, to meet some of our new guests. Our new staff members, as they bring them in as guest stars. We definitely have some new folks to introduce to you this year. So I'm looking forward to bringing you more faces than just mine. So again, if this was, if I didn't get any responses, I'm sorry, I got one survey response so far. It was a private concern, so I'm not going to be putting that out there. But if you had a shout out for a specific teacher or a coach or a student, this is where I would say, okay, the shout outs for this week are, and then kind of an explanation as to why. So you would say, like, I want to give a shout out to the volleyball coach because she has done a great job in, rallying, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. Or I really appreciate the work that, Ms. Crane has done in helping my student get registered for school, that kind of stuff. And then I go into questions. So again, if you're like, well, what time is back to school night? Or, why is it that parents aren't allowed in the staff lot, that kind of stuff. We can kind of go over those questions here. There aren't any questions this week. Suggestions. We do take your suggestions. Like, again, this was a suggestion that this video was a suggestion that came from a parent. Our parent orientation program, that was a suggestion that came from a parent. So, if you have some ideas, some of them we can't do, some of them we can. So just throw them out there and we'll see if we can talk about them. I also then go into general information, maybe stuff that other people didn't bring out, but if there's big important events or items coming up, I will go through that. I have some of those for you, so I'm going to definitely go through some of those right now. I do try every week to do some sort of a traffic reminder. Traffic, especially in the beginning of the year, is pretty hectic. So again, if you've started coming in the mornings, you see what I mean, that 10 minutes before school starts is kind of the rush. So if you come a little bit earlier than that, it's not as bad. So I know it's hard to get everybody up and out so early, but start thinking about that. Please, 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 if you're driving and dropping off students, please, horseshoe and student lot only. We are not allowing student drop off in the staff lot. There's still some residual construction stuff going on. There's some issues there. So please do not come in there. Please park or drop off somewhere else. If your student does have some mobility issues, as we have some students who are in wheelchairs or who have had surgery on their leg or something like that, we will definitely try and work with you. We can get you a pass that allows you to park either temporarily or permanently, not park, but come into the student lot. That way it's also less hectic when coming, or sorry, staff lot, less hectic coming in there and being able to drop your kid off if they have some mobility issues. But we can, let's work that out as part of the reason why we're trying to talk to everyone that's coming through the staff lot so far. What I've seen a lot of, I was standing out at the corner of Homestead and Mary this week, seeing a lot of parents dropping their kids off on Homestead, like get out of the car and go. Please do not do that. Number one, it's illegal, and either you or your student can get a ticket. Number two, it's very, very dangerous. We have had some very near collisions. We have had kids hit in the street before. You're not allowed to cross in a street where there is no crosswalk. So please don't do that. Also, the other issue starts to be when you fling doors open. We've had some bicyclists almost get hit or run into doors. That's a problem. So again, please, please, please. I know you're all in a rush, but that's why coming a little bit earlier or finding a space a little farther off to drop away, that would be good. But please don't drop off kids on Homestead or cut across Homestead. Cars, again, you really got to watch out for cyclists and pedestrians. We have, business people who are biking to work. We have our kids who are biking to work. We have the middle school kids who are biking to school. So again, a lot of kids walking into. So just get into your wheelhouse there that there's a lot of people out there and we're really trying to keep your head on a swivel. Please look out for them as you're coming and going. And again, those green lanes that when you're coming into the horseshoe, the right of way is for bicyclists. So please make sure you're keeping an eye out for them. And don't pull and block in those green places too. That means they have to swerve out into the street, and that's not a good thing. If you're coming into the horseshoe, we ask that you go all the way down to the end. I know some people want to stop right here because my kid wants to get out there. please pull all the way forward. Otherwise, cars start to back up onto Homestead. We've had some near rear ends when people kind of stop suddenly. So the idea is to try and go all the way down, let them out, then go. You have to drive through the horseshoe anyway, so please go all the way down that way. Some other traffic reminders, again, talking more for our cyclists now, seeing a lot of kids not wearing helmets. That is so scary to know that kids are riding, some of them are on e-bikes. So please wear a helmet and follow all traffic laws. You are just like a car. You have to follow the directions, you have to follow the lights, you have to follow turn signals, all that kind of stuff. So please keep that in mind. We do ask that if you're coming on bike and you need to get to the bike racks, there's two ways to do that. One is you use the Mary Street bike path, and then you go all the way down and then you kind of come down into the end of the staff lot and up into the baseball fields. There are bike racks all the way in the back there, and there's bike racks over by the pool. So again, also, if you're coming from like the direction of 7-Eleven, you go up the access road, and either way you can go in. We really don't want kids crossing in front of the horseshoe. Way too dangerous, way too much traffic. Please don't do that. So again, get used to either going up the bike path or up the access road. We also do not want bikes and pedestrians in where cars are. So they shouldn't be really cutting through where where cars are going. It's really difficult to see, especially in the student lots. So please don't do that. They don't mix very well. Again, we have a pedestrian scramble out there that the city's put in last year. It's a great tool. You just got to be patient because sometimes it feels like this hasn't turned yet. It's a very long light. So once you get going, it's really good. It helps some of the cars turning in get going while the pedestrian scrambles going on. But please don't push it and wait to the last second. I'm seeing a lot of kids kind of coming when there's just time is running out, and then they're blocking the people who are trying to turn left into the staff lot. So be careful with that. Don't push it. And then just be patient if you have missed the light. Another bit of thing. Oh, I think I missed a slide here. I may have put it out of order, but jumping to back to school night. This is some general information. This is our first big major event of the year. And it's going to be in person. So really looking forward to getting everybody here. It's going to be Wednesday, September 9th. We will be doing a grand opening before that starts, like around 4 o'clock. We're going to be grand opening of our A building, our B building, and our S building. Those have all been newly modernized, as well as our library quad, which was completely demolished, which I know is self-canceling, or not self-canceling, but unnecessary. It was demolished and brought back, and it's really looking nice. So looking for that. If you are coming that night, parking is very, very hectic. So please try to carpool, try to walk, try to plan accordingly. Just to kind of ease a little bit of the stress of getting here. The purpose of the night is so that you get a face to the people your kids have been talking about, the staff members, seeing that. You're going to hear a little bit about the curriculum. You're going to get a general sense of the campus, what it is that it's like for your kids to be walking around, and you get to see some of the nice new buildings we have on campus. If you have some specific individual concerns about your student, that's not the time to share them, because there's a lot of people, and if all 35 parents tried to start sharing something, we would never get anywhere. So we want to hear those concerns. We want to help your students or whatever we can. But please, that might be a better as an email to your counselor, to your teacher, to administrator, or a separate meeting. That night is really just sort of a general overview. So if you would help us all out with that, that would be great. This is the slide I should have put before that one, so I apologize. I'm not on my weekly video game yet. Being just, in terms of when you come to campus, making sure you're being a good neighbor to everybody, because it is hard living near a school or having a business near a school. So we try to keep our relationships in the most positive way that we can. We ask that when you're coming to campus, you don't use their driveways to turn in and out. We ask that you don't block their driveways either, because they're trying to get out to work or take their kids to school too. So be very careful with that and thoughtful about that. Village Green Apartments, which is right next to our football field, that is private property. That's not a place to drop off kids. That's not a place where kids should be hanging out. As a matter of fact, some of our kids have gotten in trouble over there because it's trespassing. So avoid that area as much as you can. 7-Eleven also is not a student drop-off area either. They've got a small parking lot. They're trying to get their customers going. So please don't use that one either. And then just think about when you're coming in and out of the school, the noise levels that you make, the car, your revving engines, or this might be more for the kids, but music, that kind of thing, be real careful. And definitely for some of our kids, they dump trash on the way in, and it kind of messes up the neighborhood. So we ask that they really be careful about make sure trash gets in the right spot. And just, again, knowing that we're all trying to get along and trying to be the best neighbor that we possibly can. So if you could pass that along to your kids too, we would appreciate it. The last thing I always do with all these videos are the important dates that are coming, to try and give you a heads up about some of the things that are coming up. It's not everything. If you want to get a list of everything that's going on, you should go to our website, go under the About Us tab, and then they have calendars and events, and you can go and look at what's going on every single day. But here's some big ones coming up. So this Friday tonight, we've got our first home football game. More than a scrimmage, this is more like it's a preseason game, but still, it's kind of gets our Friday night lights going. We do have, starting the week of 8/29, we have college application information that's going to be presented to our seniors. The counselors are going to go into the econ and gov classes. This is for students only. It's during the school day. They'll get some very specific information, but there is a parent night for a night for parents on college info on 8:30. So please sign up for that one. If for some reason you don't have to sign up, sorry, show up for that one. If you miss it, they do post all their PowerPoints online afterwards too. So keep an eye out for that. As we mentioned, September 6th, there is the back to school night and grand opening. Hope you can make that. On 9/8, our freshman class officer information meeting. So if you have students that are interested in wanting to run for class office as a freshman class, please let them know to take a look for that and look at that announcement and get that information. Starting the week of 9/18, counselor presentations are going to be going into 9th grade PE and bio classes to start giving them information about classes and four-year planning and things like that. So that's a good part of their presentations. And believe it or not, we're already coming up on homecoming. We're going to do something a little different this year because the holiday, there's a no school day on 10/9. And so that shortens homecoming week. So we're gonna try having homecoming dance on the Friday before the homecoming football game. So the 6th is gonna be the homecoming dance. The 9th, there's no school. Then we've got homecoming week, the week of the 10th, with all sorts of activities. There's a parade, there's the game, there's the royalty, all that kind of fun stuff. So hopefully your students get a chance to get involved in all those fun activities. So again, that is our weekly video for this week. That's all the big information. I hope I start getting some survey submissions from you all so I can start answering your questions. And I will be bringing on some of our new staff members as well too. So hope your first week went really well. On our end, things went really, really great. It's nice to have our campus back. All the construction projects are pretty much finished. There's little things that are still going on. So planting and landscaping and some painting and that kind of stuff. But for the most part, it's done. So that's been great. Hope you've had a great week. Hope you have a nice, restful weekend. And we look forward to seeing you at back to school night. So thanks a lot. Take care.